I know you think you're being a nice person, being good, putting other people's needs above yourself, always there, helping out. But what if I told you that people pleasing is actually a form of high functioning anxiety? What if that constant need to please everyone isn't actually a virtue, but it's a virus in the programming, a mindset glitch? I know people pleasing can look really generous, but what if it's fear in disguise? Fear of conflict, being disapproved of, and need to feel safe. You can break this pattern and start to live from a place of truth rather than fear, a place where you're choosing what you want in your life. Because you don't owe the world your constant availability. You don't need to earn your right to exist by being easy and agreeable. So imagine your brain is like a supercomputer, but it's running on this old corrupt bit of programming over and over in a loop. And this is the hidden reason why you can't stop people pleasing. The reason why your calendar is filled with yeses when it should be no's because you've got too many things to do. Why you're saying yes through gritted teeth while really resenting the fact that they can't see that must be too much for you to take on just now. And it's why you feel like your own battery is running on zero. And today we're not just going to find that glitch, we're going to drag it out into the light, understand where it came from, and start to translate it into coding which works better for you. We're going to flick a mental switch which is going to help you break free of this exhausting cycle and start creating the life that you deserve to have. Because let's be brutally honest, people pleasing feels awful. That underlying resentment which is always bubbling up higher and higher, wondering why you're saying yes to things you should be saying no to, wondering why people are still asking things of you, when it's quite obvious you've got too much on your plate already. And that churning in the stomach every time someone has a different opinion from you and you're not sure what to do with yours suddenly, should you dull it down, change it, mould it to fit them? So you become a social chameleon, changing your colour to fit every single situation while having to hide your true colours, and that's draining and exhausting and quite impossible to maintain. And it isn't just about the things you give away and sacrifice for others. Within all of this, you start to lose yourself, your opinions, your own style, your hobbies. All the things that you maybe once cared about, you're slowly shutting down and burying deep so you can fit in with whatever anybody in front of you needs you to be. And yet the irony of it all, the more you attempt to get everyone else around you to like you, if you're honest, the more you dislike yourself. It's a direct line to inner resentment and burnout. You're not being kind, you're being compliant. And you're not being selfless, you're being self-destructive. And the darkest joke of it all is the people that you're pushing needs up so high either don't notice, don't really care and reciprocate, or they've already moved on. Well, you're left back here checking every message, thinking about every action and what you did, wondering, did I do it correctly? Did I do okay? Did I get their approval? Or am I going to be rejected and abandoned again? It's lonely, draining, and exhausting. It's not a sustainable way to live. So what do you think this glitch is? Where do you think this programming came from? The mindset glitch, which has turned you into a people pleaser, is the brain has gotten confused and programmed to associate approval with safety. For most of us, this program was installed when we were in childhood, where we relied on adults and parents for our basic survival needs, our shelter, our food, our safety. And maybe it felt like their approval meant you'd be allowed those things if you experienced any kind of emotional withdrawal or punishment if you weren't good. So you learnt to be good to survive. People pleasing became a survival mechanism to protect you against other people's behaviours. And think of it like a small animal playing dead in front of a predator. If you stay small, hidden and uninteresting, you'll be left alone. The problem is, you're an adult now, and that programming code is obsolete. It's out of date. It doesn't work anymore. It may have kept you safe when you're a child, but not in the world you're living in now. Your brain still thinks if someone disapproves of you, you're in danger. And that's why saying no can feel so terrifying, because it's not just you might disappoint someone, it's that complete fear of primeval abandonment. And people pleasing isn't an act of love and generosity. It's not coming from your heart, it's coming from fear. And if you're not giving from a true place of generosity, you're paying ransom for a lifetime to your own anxiety. The first step to fixing and switching this glitch is to just be aware of and recognize it's there. It's not your fault that the programming was given to you, but it is your responsibility to reprogram, rewire, and restart with new, fresh, healthy coding. And flipping and transforming this glitch can be really supported by 3 crucial mindset shifts. Think of this as installing a new operating system for your brain, restarting it. And the first mindset shift is transforming that need for approval into self-compassion. Your self-worth is not up for a vote, and you've been outsourcing it, looking for everyone's opinions to find out if you're worthy or not, if you're good enough or not. And self-compassion is the antidote, the idea that you are the only prime ruler of your own self-worth, regardless what anyone else thinks of you. You would never tell a friend that they're not worthy or not good enough if they said no to not wanting to go to a party, or turn down an invitation, or say they weren't able to help you. And self-compassion is applying that same formula to yourself, being as kind and understanding to your needs as you are to everybody else's. And it's realizing that you're not responsible for everyone's reaction to any boundary or any no that you put in place. That's their job. That's their responsibility. And the second crucial mindset shift is changing from fear into loving self-awareness. Because what you're doing just now, there's no inner connection. Everything is based on fear rather than having any awareness of what you want, what you need, what you desire, what you enjoy. And moving into loving awareness means really being aware, taking notice of what actually matters to you, what's important to you, what are your opinions, your thoughts, your needs, your desires, and paying attention to them. And it means moving forward into that authentic self where you respect what's important to you. And this is where simple practices like journaling can come in, where you just literally are going to be writing down, what do I like? What do I want? What are my goals and my dreams? And it's also practicing the pause. That slight pause when someone invites you somewhere or asks for a favour, just taking that moment to put the brakes on and check in with how their request is making you feel. Is it something you have time to do or something you even want to do? And it's okay to say no. And it's okay to make this pause longer. Can I get back to you? I need to check. I'll let you know. Just to buy yourself time to come into that loving awareness of how their request or their invitation is actually sitting in your body, so you can give an authentic answer for what you want, not what they want. And in that pause, you can also check if any desire to rush in and say yes comes from a desire to be doing that thing or involved in that activity, or whether or not it's from a fear of the fallout or disapproval of what they might think of you. And that loving awareness can change everything. And the third crucial mindset shift change is reframing boundaries into acts of compassion. Because people pleasers can believe that boundaries sound rude and look selfish. They're pushing people away and not being helpful. And this is the biggest lie that code, that glitch tells you. Because the truth is, some of the most compassionate people are boundaried up to their hilt because they are filled with self-respect and expect to be respected. So think of boundaries as being a fence around this beautiful garden that is filled with your needs and your desires. And that fence is not meant to keep people out, it's to protect your well-being, to keep it safe and healthy and nurturing. And it's up to you who you let in, who you open the gate to. And boundaries are also an act of compassion to other people, because when you say an authentic yes rather than a yes out of fear, people can feel it and they can receive it more. They won't feel like they're burdening you or putting too much onto you. And we also all know how much that resentment can bubble up when you're saying yes instead of no, which can end up poisoning the relationship without the other person even having a chance to change it. And this is where you can put it all into practice. And some people call this coming into the villain era. The villain era isn't about being a jerk. It's about finally being the main character in your life story. Stopping being the supporting role. Stopping giving up your main part so that someone else can succeed, sacrificing your needs while looking after everybody else. And this is where the villain comes in, because you will only be a villain in the eyes of people who benefit far more from you staying stuck and keeping their needs way above your own. And you might find they push back. And that's where the boundaries come in, and you start to reassert them and learn how to say, no, I did actually mean no. And starting with that word no doesn't need explanation. It can be as simple as no. No, thank you. I'm going to pass this time. It needs no explanation and no excuses. And the people who can't accept that are the ones who possibly don't need to be around you anymore. And you can continue with the compassionate self-awareness by listening to how your body reacts to how people respond to your boundaries, to understand which ones are actually respecting them and which ones were abusing them, and maybe need either some stronger boundaries or to be told it's time to go. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable. Your brain might be saying, stop, you're going to get us in trouble, because you've been saying yes and allowing all of this to happen for so long that not only will people around you not be used to it, but your entire body and your responses won't be used to it. Just let it all happen. Your body is going to tell you when actually you realize those boundaries were more important than you realize. And that loving self-awareness when you're checking with your body and then making actions and choices based on it also means you're going to start to build inner trust. Your body and your mind is going to start to trust you to look after yourself, and inner confidence and self-respect is going to grow and come from this. And reclaiming your life is not a one-hit wonder. It takes time to transform some of these thoughts and beliefs and to practice them and start to learn to trust your body that this is actually okay. I'm allowed to do this. And my channel has lots of videos and guidance on how you can start to do that. So do subscribe and follow me if you want to find out how you can continue with this radical self-respect and self-empowerment so you can stop people pleasing. And my next video coming out is going to be using a very powerful but simple technique to really start to switch and transform that glitch. So do hit the notifications and keep an eye out. Let me know if you're in. As a commitment to yourself, type in the comments, I'm the main character in my story, and let's get going with transforming this glitch. Because that glitch which made you a people pleaser, it could be powerful and a sticky one, but it's not permanent. I know. I changed it. It is just old, worn out code which no longer serves you, and you deserve better. So stop letting the ghost in the machine write the script of your future. It's time to write a new code. A code which starts to finally get you the life you deserve.